There were strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold, and the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam Magee. Now Sam Magee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, and he'd often say in his homely way, I'd rather live in hell. On a Christmas day we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your coal through the parka's fold, it grabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we closed, then our lashes froze, till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to grumble was Sam Magee. On that very night, as we lay packed tight in our ropes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead and the wind began to blow, and he turned to me, and cap says he, I'll cash in this trip I guess, and if I do, I ask of you, do not refuse my last request. Now he looked so low that I couldn't say no, and he said with a sort of moan, it's the cursed cold and it's got right hold, and it's chilled right through to the bone, yet 'tain't been dead, 'tis the awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Now a friend's last need is a thing to heed, I swore I wouldn't fail. We started off at the streak of dawn, my God he looked ghastly pale. He was latched to the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee, and by nightfall a corpse was all that was left of Sam Magee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was latched to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and your brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate my last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long nights by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loaded that thing. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, I thought a bit, then I looked at my frozen chum, and here said I with a sudden cry is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, I lit the boiler fire, some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. Well, the flames just roared and the furnace soared, such a blaze you'd seldom see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam Magee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies growled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why, and the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking across the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I rested with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a look inside. I guess he's cooked. It's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam in the cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar, and he wore a smile that you'd see a mile, and he said, please shut that door. It's fine in here, but I gravely fear you'll let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold, and the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam Magee.